Welcome to the Block Party. My name is Seth Kushner. Today, why not have a history maker on the show? I am joined by Daniel Walcott. Welcome to the show, Wally.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, if you were on a plane with somebody right now and you were just like 2.5 hour flight and they sat down next to you, your AirPods are broken and they're like, hey, what's going on? Anything going on in your life? Would you tell them what happened Monday night, or would you just go, yeah, I'm good, and just ignore them the rest of the flight?
Well, I mean, they'd probably ask why I have a major black eye, so I'd say I might mention it, but no, I'm more the kind that just have a good flight and maybe talk about something else usually.
Oh man, see, I can't even see the black eye because of the lighting in there. They need to get better lighting at that hotel that you're staying there. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Look at that beauty. So I was going to ask you, this is for later on in the interview, but I'll ask you right now because that might be the only thing you got. Did you get anything from your first game? Did you keep anything? Or is the black eye the only takeaway that you have from it?
No, they grabbed the puck for me. They also said they're gonna frame that jersey I wore with the puck and send it to me. So I got that coming my way.
Good. Listen, I got to talk to you about your dad. The Lightning tweeted out your dad's prediction. I don't know when it was. It wasn't timestamped that the Lightning were going to have the first all black line. I'm interested to know, is your dad like a tarot card reader? Can I get a reading from him for like $10 or $15? When did your dad start becoming such a good person at predicting what was going to happen in the NHL as far as history is concerned?
I mean, he's pretty good at predicting a lot of things. Even like for my career, when I was just playing club hockey, he's like, "You're gonna play in the NHL one day," and it's it happened. And then he predicted, and I think it was in 2017. He said that when Joseph and Boko had been drafted and been with the organization for like a year. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. I completely forgot about that bold prediction, but it was pretty nice to have that video kind of looped around and made special.
Now, did your dad, I know the Lightning tweeted it out, did your dad bring it to the Lightning's attention like, hey, I said this 4 years ago? Did he even know that he said it? Because I know dads love to be the ones that say, I told you so.
No, I think he was that shocked. I think I was the first one to send it to him when the Lightning posted it. I like sent it to him right away, and he's like, "Oh wow!" He remembers the interview for sure, but I think that was done by the Lightning and whoever had to film that interview.
So before your first game, what kind of advice did you get from some of the other guys, from the veteran guys? I know how much of a team they are, how they always try to, befriend anybody that comes down from Syracuse, something like that. What kind of advice did you get from the guys before your first game?
Well, I mean, most of them know how I play. I pretty much just keep it simple and try to get on the forecheck. So they just reminded me that hey, the way you play is the way we need you to play. So just play that way, keep it simple, and have fun. And when someone tells me to have fun, that's exactly what I want to hear. And I mean, I had a great time out there.
Did you get the private jet treatment to the game? I talked to Ross Colton this year, and when he got called up with ABB, they got a private jet for the first time. I think they were coming to Tampa though. How did you get to the game?
Yeah, so I got called up to Columbus and I took a private bus. So I had a full Greyhound bus to myself. I was just doing some lunges there in the in the alleyway and could use the restrooms whenever. And I mean, I had the full treatment, probably better than theirs, honestly.
Were you really doing lunges on the bus?
Yeah, I was getting ready. I didn't know what the call up was for. Maybe they needed me that night. And I was hanging out with the bus driver. It was a 7-hour bus trip, so we had a good time. And I was just stretching and just keeping busy.
All right, now listen, be honest with me. What's it been like? You've been with the Lightning for a long time. You've played with Syracuse for a long time. You've seen so many guys, so many of your friends get called up with the Lightning and have success. I know that you've been called an ultimate team first guy. What's it been like to see some of those guys called up? Was there one that stung more than the other? Did you feel like you were never going to get your shot? I know I asked you a lot of questions, so go ahead and answer whichever one you like the most.
No, I mean, I just get so happy for guys. When Ross played his game and he scored in the second shift, like I had like chills go down my spine. I try to watch every first game of all the guys I play with because, most of these guys I'm on their line and we have such a good time out there. Like we'll get down and dirty in the scrums and stuff, and you just create a bond with these guys. So it's hard to it's easy to say that it doesn't hurt. Obviously, you want to be the guy that gets called up, but when you see these teammates of yours, these friends of yours that get the opportunity to, live out their dream like you want to do, it's a great feeling for everyone. And I know that a lot of my teammates were hoping for this day as much as me, and it was, all the support I got and the love I got from them was truly like, it was so humbling and kind of overwhelming, honestly, because these guys that I haven't played with in years reached out to me and were supporting me, and it was just a great feeling overall.
Did you feel like, was there one guy, like, I know you supported everybody and you said you tried to watch everybody's first game. Was there a call up where you go, and you're only human, you can be a team guy as much you want, but you go, man, listen, I've been here, I'm maybe better than this guy, or I feel like I've been here for a longer time. This stings, or you were all happy for each guy that got called up, and maybe you knew in the back of your head your time was going to come?
Well, I mean, this year in particular was a little different because of the taxi squad situation. So obviously, early on in the year, I wanted to stay on the taxi squad, and it kind of hurt when I got sent down. But you know, you don't realize how much you love the game until you're practicing for a month and a half with not playing. So going down, initially it stung, and I wanted to stay, and I was kind of jealous of the guys that got to stay. I was like, oh, it's Tampa. This is the year, I thought. But I went to Syracuse, play a couple games, and it felt good to just be playing and be in that environment where with the guys and just live. I have a house there too, so it was kind of a comfort zone for me to be there. And then when the call came, then I mean I was ecstatic. But I don't think there was anything. I don't know. I just don't see myself being like kind of butthurt because I'm a different role. If there was someone exactly in my role that would get called up, I mean these guys like BB, he's the lead scorer of the league for like 2 years running. Like he needed a shot, and it was like I was so happy for him that finally he got the chance to get called up when it could have been earlier in my opinion. But you know, so for me, I was just ecstatic that they actually took a chance on me and said, you know what, it's Wally's time and he deserves this.
So how did you get the news, and then tell me how you envisioned getting the news, because I'm sure it's something you played in your head a million times. Was it anything like you dreamed of?
Well, I had seen throughout the years guys like after games, get called into the office and then come out of the coach's office and they're like, "Hey guys, I'm going up." So I was like, "Oh, maybe that'll happen to me." But to me, it was a little different because of the testing. Uh, we didn't test every day. We didn't test on Sundays in Syracuse, but you had to if you're gonna get called up. So I kind of got a call on a Sunday like, "Hey, Wally, we're gonna need you to come test just in case." And then I
And
was
you're
like,
like, hell
"Wait,
yeah.
I think that I was like 1+1, yeah, hey, maybe." And then a couple days later, they're like, "Yeah, we need you to go up, so you're gonna take a bus up and enjoy the ride." And I was like, "Yeah, sounds good."
Man, you were probably never happier to take a COVID test. So who did you start to call? Who did you start to call right away, and which one of your teammates did you reach out to first?
Well, I was actually at my girlfriend's house when I got the call, so I was with her family. So they found out first, and then my dad and mom, obviously. But that call is kind of like, hey, don't get too excited. I'm just going to take a COVID test here, but just stay on the lookout for some news. And then Corey Conacher and Luke Wachowski, those are two guys that I spent so much time with in Syracuse, and that they've been a tremendous help for me. And I think those are two guys that I kind of messaged first. Um, because you don't really want to tell your friends and family and like get them all excited, but they kind of knew what the situation was. So I said, hey, like this might be the time, and they were kind of excited. We were all just as nervous, like waiting for the every day. Corey was texting me, so you going up? So what's the COVID test mean? Like, so it was just fun.
So a lot of people said you deserved it. I think you deserved it. I'm sure all your family, you had a lot of people rooting for you. Do you feel like you deserved it? Do you feel like it was your time, or as being the main character in your own story, is it hard for you to go, yeah, I deserve my shot right now?
Well, as I was telling a lot of people, like in the summertime, I've been in Syracuse. I've been with the organization for 6 years now, and every time I go home, my buddies in like our wiffle ball league would be like, "So, like, when you getting called up? When you getting called up?" And I got to a point early on. I was like, "Well, we'll see. I'll just try to work hard." But I think this past year and the year before, I was saying to them, at this point in my career, I'm ready. Like they know what they're gonna get from me. I'm settled in as my role, and I know what I can bring. So I'm ready if the time comes. I'm proud to say that now I'm ready to go. So when they did call, um, I felt comfortable in the fact that this is the time, and it wasn't too early, it wasn't too late. It could have been even later. I would have been just as ready. but I'm so glad that I got to get in that game, and it was kind of a meaningful game as well. For home ice, we just came up short there, but playoff hockey's up. So,
Well, was the fight premeditated? Did you go, hey, going into this game, I got to make my mark, or I want to try to spark the team, or I know a lot of those things are. Was this one premeditated?
no, I like to get like in the dirty areas and maybe start a couple scrums, draw some penalties, but Roots really got hit hard, and initially I wanted to fight whoever hit him there, Marchment. So it was just a spur of the moment, and then I just grabbed whoever was there, and then that kind of boiled over. But yeah, I didn't go into it saying, hey, I need to fight to prove myself or anything. I just, do my teammate gets hit that hard, I want to stick up for him, and it's just kind of a reactional thing.
So tell me, when did you realize that history is going to be made? I think more importantly, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to play my first game. This is happening. And then when does it start to kind of seep in, or that you're going to be playing with Smith and Joe and have, the first black line in NHL history? How does that all come together?
Well, it's funny you say that because honestly, it took about a day and a half for it to like sink in that I was going to be a part of history. I was just soaking in the fact that I played my first NHL game. So that was really exciting. But when we got to the rink and we saw that we were aligned together, we were kind of excited. We were laughing like, hey, if we score on this first shift here, they might make a Disney movie about us. So we gotta show up here. But it was just, it was just fun to have those two guys. They're good friends of mine. So it was fun that we got to play together. And then after the game, like I had more attention about being part of history than playing my first game. And I was like, wait. But yeah, we definitely had a blast with it. Like before going into when we finally knew that we were the starting lineup. We're like, here it is, boys. We're about to start the Cool Running sequel here. So we gotta score or do something.
Who plays you in the movie, by the way? If they do make the movie about this Lightning line, is it Michael B. Jordan? Who do you want? Who do you want to star in your likeness?
Well, honestly, my brother's an actor in Quebec, so I would cast him for sure as to play me. But maybe Michael B. Jordan could play Joe, and maybe get who else should we get there for Jamel? Uh,
Anthony Anderson.
there you go.
So tell me, did you feel pressure when you were going out there? You got enough to deal with that. It's your first game. Did you go, hey, this is history in the making here. I have so many people that have looked up to me or that are counting on me or are you just like, hey, I'm going to go out there and do my job?
Well, you think about it before more than during. Like before, I'm like, wow, I want to make sure that everyone watching back home, like they have something to see, like give them a show, as I say. But once the game started, honestly, you're in the game. You think of, forechecking F1, F2, the neutral zone package, and all these things that you don't even have time to like, oh my God, I gotta fight this guy so that my mom and dad can see that I'm out here on the ice. Like, um, no, but yeah, during the game, everything just shut off from the outside. I'm just really focused on the there and now. But before the game and after the game, you kind of think like before, like, will I be able to do something? Like, I just don't want to be someone that's just floating around and making mistakes. You want to be someone that can contribute and help the team win, and that's all you focus on. And whatever happens, happens. And obviously, I got a black eye from it, so we're good.
Did LeBron DM you? Did Oprah text you? Did you hear from did you hear from anybody of great magnitude, or you just heard from a lot of different people around the league and people you grew up with?
No, I mean, I got a lot of things to go through, like text message wise and tweets and stuff. But my family's been good at just like keeping me posted on where I am. Like, I forget who it was. Like, I think it was my girlfriend. She goes, "You're on ESPN, and then you're on CBS, and then you're on TMZ, and I don't want to turn on the TV anymore because I'm sick of seeing your face." And I was just like, I literally couldn't even turn on the TV yet to see any of these things. But it's just fun. It's a good time, and to have my debut happen at the same time as that historic moment, it was a little overwhelming, but now it's it feels good, and I'm happy that happened, and I'm happy for Joe and Jamel as well, and hopefully we can be an inspiration to young kids like many before us were for us. So
How close are you with those guys? The story was that you were good buddies with them. I don't know if that was the case. Like how well do you know Jamel Smith and Matty Joe?
Well, me and Maddie are from Montreal, so we've known each other for a while. Obviously, we played together in Syracuse. Jamel and I had a lot of mutual friends before he came to the organization, but so that when he came, it was like I knew him forever. And the guys on the team can tell you, me and Jamel, if we're not arguing, then something's wrong. Like we're always at each other's throats about nonsense. So
Like what's the
yeah,
last
no,
what's the last fight you guys? Is it on ice stuff? Is it like about music? What's about pop culture? What's it about?
like who's the faster skater, who's the faster runner. It's usually about competing, like who's better at this, who's the best all-around athlete. And it's honestly it's nonsense. A lot of it's nonsense, but it's we're like two brothers that bicker all the time. So
Hey, tell me. So you speaking of your brother, you mentioned I saw a picture on your Instagram of was it you and your brother on a roof in Montreal? What's going on with that? Or how handy are you? Are you available to do work around Tampa? Or was that just was somebody just in desperate need of a patch job?
well, I do have my company EightFive LLC. So I have a barbershop called EightFive Fade. We have EightFive Construction where we do roofing for my grandma's shed. Uh, and we EightFive Entertainment, whatever you need, EightFive can probably cover it. Uh, but yeah, with my buddies back home, they're all in construction pretty much, and they kind of taught me some of the tricks, so I can be handy up by myself. And yeah, it was just a fun project. My grandma needed her shed shingled, so my brothers and I decided we'll do it. We had no idea what we're doing, and there, speaking of bickering, like there was a lot of bickering going on, a lot of not enough material, not the right tools. So, but we had a great time, and yeah, it's good bonding.
Let me ask you: does 8-5 do they do any babysitting, or you guys don't cover that?
Yeah, I think we can get like BB or Ross or Sorelli to take care of that. They
Oof.
should be up for the. But yeah, we can definitely 585 is on our business cards they're just black, so it's literally whatever you need. We'll figure it out.
I don't know if this is I don't know if this is a joke that you start. I don't know if this is a real thing. I know it showed up on the computer, 8-5 LLC. I don't know if it's just a thing you do to make your guys laugh, but it's hysterical. So whatever it is, I keep it going. I want to
Well,
invest. I want to invest in your business that does it all.
I might have a business card somewhere here. Let me
Oh
see.
my God, this
Give
is
me two
great.
seconds here.
This is going to be the
Give me two
first time in
seconds.
Block Party history that we've had a player flash a business card for 8-5. They can do it all. And
Let's see. Hopefully, I hope I got it.
And then
Oh,
I
I
want to know
do.
who does the fades because I need a haircut and I normally go somewhere not good. So who do you do the fades?
I do the fades. I didn't bring my clippers here, so hopefully I can get them shipped down. But this is the card. That's it. That's
Man, look
it.
at that. It looks like one of those stick cards too. That's not a flimsy card.
No, no,
Wow,
that's it.
that's a
We
beauty.
do everything.
Thank you for showing that to me. I want to know. You said a bunch of players, supported you. Corey Conacher, Luke that you mentioned. Luke Witowski, he came out and he's just had the nicest tweet about like, I don't know if you're going to get to play. I don't know, but nobody deserves it more than you. You're such a team first guy. What did that mean to have him say those words? Which I thought was, you said he was the closest, but I thought some of the strongest words in your favor when you got called up.
No, absolutely. Luke was a guy. My first couple of years, he took me under his wing right away. He's one of the older guys. He was my captain my second year, and we're just kind of the same personality where we're energetic, and I learned a lot from him. So those words coming from him meant the world. And we lived together the year before as well, so we got to know each other even closer. But it was great coming from him. He's always someone that I looked up to, and to have him say that to publicly to the world was really nice. And hopefully maybe it got the ball rolling. Maybe they weren't thinking about it, and it got some juices flowing. So
It could. Who knows? People there. Everybody does pay attention to Twitter. Now, this almost didn't happen because I read growing up that you had to stop playing hockey at one point because you couldn't afford it. How were you able to get back in, and how important was it to you or your family to keep you involved in hockey?
well, thank God for Montreal winter weather where I could find the pond hockey and just keep playing out there. I'd come back from school, grab my skates, my stick, head to the park and just play outdoor hockey against whoever was there. And just me and my brother would do that. I kept playing like recreationally with my school at the time, but with football and all, I kind of had to just focus on that mainly. And but I never lost my love for hockey. Those summers I would go train with my dad. My dad was the one who coached me my whole childhood. So during the summers I'd go to Chicago and we just spend the summer training, so that when I came back and I played football during the winter season, I didn't lose all of my hockey skills. But it's definitely a time in my life that I look back to, especially in moments like this where I get to finally play in the NHL, and all the hard work that my dad, my mom, and my brothers, we all put in together towards the main goal. It's sometimes I think about it and I just tear up thinking of how far we've come. So it feels good.
Oh, good. That takes the next question away about do you cry? Because I wasn't sure if you would be honest or not. What did your dad tell you after the first game? Does he critique you hard, or did he just tell you how proud he was of you?
No, he just both my parents before the game, their advice to me was go hard, but be safe. Don't go too hard because we know how you get. And it was just funny to hear both of them say that separately. But yeah, no, my dad he was so excited for me. So was my mom, but they've seen me play that way for so long. So it was right up my alley, and they loved it, and they were so happy for me.
Hey, was Syracuse weird this year with playing with some of the Panther guys?
You would think so, but there's so many young guys that came to Syracuse from the Florida organization that didn't really, kind of their first year pro, maybe their second year pro, so they didn't have any expectations coming into what pro was like really. And I think with our young guys and our leadership group, we all bonded over the same common goal that we wanted to play this year, and that's what we got to do. I mean, it was kind of funny when I was in the press box for the first game against Panthers. I looked over and their press box was right there, and it was literally, I think, 12 or 13 crunch players that had played this year, and it was like, hey, the reunion. But yeah, I mean, when you're in the hockey locker room, doesn't matter which team you're from. If you're in the same locker room, then you're bonding over a common goal of winning games and helping each other out get to the next level. So I mean, once we get into the NHL and it's Florida versus Tampa, then it's all bets are off. But in that Syracuse locker room, it was really one knit group.
Well, listen, man, it's been a hell of a week. Congrats on making history. Thank you for stopping by in the Block Party. Stellar appearance. I look forward to hitting up 8-5 for anything I need, babysitting fades, anything in between, financial advice. And I hope that when the Disney movie comes out with you guys, I get to play the annoying podcaster who interviews you right after you make history. Thanks a lot, Wally, man, and good luck the rest of the way.
No, thanks to you. I appreciate it, man.